Once again, we're on the same wavelength, John. Having some difficulties with the internet here tonight, so no theme music for you, but the Faces for Radio broadcast is back. We are here for you tonight from Boyertown Area Senior High School, where tonight the Boyertown Bears are playing host to a Springford Ram team that is already early starting to make noise, not only in the pack, but also in District 1, in the District 1 standings. Last I checked, I thought they were top 10 in boys basketball in District 1.
It'd be nice if we could check, but
yeah,
up in the booth we have no internet. Last time I checked, they had 8 or 9 wins, and right now at this point in the season, if you have 8 or 9 wins, you're having a solid run of things. So yeah, like you would expect, Springford at the top to start.
So we'll take the time here. We have a pregame, about 3 minutes to focus on Springford. I mean, we all know about the Bears, but looking at the visitors tonight, interesting lineup here, John. I looked at the roster for Springford, the varsity roster, only listing 2 seniors, and also returning 2 starters who happen to both be juniors. Tommy Kelly, who put up 11 last year here against Boyertown. And it seems the engine that things run through is junior guard Jacob Wynn.
And I believe he even won Player of the Year for the area, for the pack, whatever it was. And what I remember about Jacob Wynn, and if you kind of read about him and hear about him, it's just a slow burn with him. You know, you're not going to see this flashy dunk coming down the lane. You're not going to see something that is, quick, and it's just very, very consistent. He's very consistent. He runs the offense well. He's kind of, unflappable like that, and that's got to be Boyertown's goal tonight is to disrupt that. So I would think that Coach Miller and the boys have devised something, you would hope, that maybe gets the ball out of his hands a little bit. You make somebody else handle, you make somebody else beat you, because that's probably the only way you stay into the game with, even a young but still experienced and solid Springford team.
The advantage to the Avengers notebook is I'm able to go back into last year's game that was played here at Boyertown, and was actually a close game. Boyertown, I'm going to try to flip back real quick. I just found it. Boyertown lost by 7, 66-59. Wynn led the all scorers with 23 points, and Tommy Kelly, the other returning starter, had 11. But interesting on the roster tonight, John, that'll be interesting to see. We have listed as a sophomore, and he was on the varsity roster last year as a freshman. And the early favorite for name of the year, Obin Mokanchu.
Obin Mokanchu, sophomore, number 24, 6'5", so we'll see if he has some bearing on the game here in the starting lineup. So you have to think he's a big part of things. And looking at Springford, what you're going to find every year, Jim, is that they find a way to pressure you, and it doesn't really even have to be a full court pressure. They find ways to pressure in the half court set. They're very tight defenders. They always have been. And Coach Dempsey, who's only been here now for a couple of years, still has brought that tenacity, down from the Catholic League where he used to be. And, it just seems like it's the same type of player every year at Springford. They can all kind of run the same system, defensively and offensively. And Boyertown, I think, every year kind of has different type of players. I'm not sure how you get the ones just to stay consistent. But last year, Boyertown wanted to run. They wanted to score. They wanted to get out and push. And this year, if you're going to go beat Springford, this might be the year, Jim, because it's 2 very contrasting styles. And the Bears are kind of built here to run their offense, to slow things down. That's what they've been trying to do this year so far. So if they can get a lead, if they can handle the pressure that Springford brings at them, this, played them tough last year. They always play them tough in this building. Could be a good night for Boyertown.
We'll see what they can do. And, John, I know you were wondering. The other 2 names of the year we had from last year were Governor Mifflin's Andrew Galatuomo and Upper Marion's Anaya Onwubuarere.
Oh, that wins right there is the winner.
So we'll be back here in a few minutes after national anthems and starting lineups for the tip here at Boyertown Area Senior High School. We are back. John, as I look out over the gym here while you were doing those lineups, it might have the best crowd of the year so far.
Well, they better get a little louder here because we need some noise in here to do some sort of rattling here. You know, Springford's always a tough game. Like we said, it's always a little bit different here. So we're going to hope the Bears can take the home court advantage tonight and use it.
We'll see what we can do here. We got Greaves going up against Kelly at the jump circle. A few 6'5" players. Springford choosing to go with a 6'4" player.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be one of those games, Jim. We got a violation on the tip. He tipped it too early. This is the kind of game we're in for tonight, Jim. Every little thing.
Too early?
Here we go.
Too early?
It had not reached its highest point. Exactly. What a way to start. What a way to announce your presence. Okay, I'm done.
Well, dare we say akin to not reporting as eligible?
Oh, you want to get into that already?
First offensive set for Springford is a missed three-pointer, and Boyertown with a early defensive rebound. And I'll sound like a broken record again. Offensive rebounds for the opposing team have been key here, and Springford's in a man-to-man. Johnson tries to cut through it. That's no good, and Springford's going to come the other way, and they're going to want to run.
Which they usually do. However, Springford usually is well coached enough. Coach Dempsey does have a good track record and has some really good teams under his belt. They usually know what they're doing in a half court set too. Ooh,
that's two misses for Springford and two defensive rebounds for Boyertown. John, I'm going to try to keep track tonight of rebounds. That is
of rebounds of offensive rebounds.
I'm doing both here. I just put an O and a D for each side team, and I. Going to see what I can do. Boyertown's already got two defensive rebounds.
I'm just going to sit here and just talk.
You can do that.
Okay.
Again, the Avenger notebook is not 100% accurate. Great baseline move there from Matt Zellers for the first points of the game. It's 2-0 Springford.
And believe that's Springford's quarterback, and he's getting a lot of looks here from Division I schools. I mean, that's a Division I athlete right there. It's a good move.
Brandon Rath with it inside is going to kick it out to Braden Johnson. Again, Springford comes out of a man-to-man, and there's a rebound for Springford. Here's Zellers again. Nice step over. Zellers has all 4 points on the board. And the Rams are going to pick up in a half court. Looks like a 1-2-2 extended. Cutting Thompson, unable to handle it. Johnson tries to draw the charge. Euro step around him.
You know, that's fine if you're going to draw the charge, but that means that you got to get right back in there and get that board. And if you see your teammate going for the charge, you got to run back and try to get that rebound. Zollers just went in and is having his way with the Bears tonight, whether it's offensively or on the second chance rebound opportunity here.
And quickly, 5:42 left in the first quarter. So we're what? That's a minute and 15 seconds. No, 2:15 into the game. 2:15 in the game, and Matt Zellers already with 6 points. And it's 6-0 Springford.
You know, the Bears aren't attacking things wrong right here. They're just not crisp. You know, they're just not crisp. They have that look, that cutting look last time, which maybe you want to wait and get a ball reversal in so the defense is a little more out of position there. But it's not like the Bears aren't looking for the right things. It's just you have got to be very, very, let's say, on the money here when you're playing a Springford team.
Boyertown with an inbounds. It's going to go all the way up court to Rath, who's going to give it up to Trey Kern. Unable to convert. And there's two more for Zellers.
Look at how far up the Springford extends this. And that's a you see again, that's not the wrong move. Look at how far up Springford is there. They are way up at that foul line, which is this is what they want to do. They want to get that ball and push that ball in the corner, and now they have basically a 3-on-2 on defense right there. So the Bears aren't wrong for throwing over top. That pass has just got to be there.
Double stack for Springford. They crisscross. They bring E.J. Campbell up this time. Good board there by Greaves. Rath's going to try to do something with that, and it's going to stay here. Boyertown will have it underneath the basket, and it looks like Thompson is going to be the one to throw in this inbounds pass. Trey Kern trying to dip up and under. Good move from Kern for the first two for Boyertown, 8-2.
He really earned those 2 points right there. It's a good move. You thought he had nothing right there. Just big, long step right there. That's a good move.
Looked like they were initially trying to get to the corner three that did not develop quick enough. But Trey Kern able to take care of business for them. The Rams are still in their man-to-man.
Bears have got to be strong with the ball here and look to make ball reversals. Again, it's not wrong on that, but Springford's pressure is making Boyertown kind of start the offense sooner than they want, if that makes sense. I have not seen a ball reversal yet from Boyertown, and that's the whole key here. It's always the key. Just reverse the ball. If you can get 1 or 2 ball reversals in, the defense is not going to be standing where they want to stand, and then you can attack that baseline with less pressure on you and make that pass unguarded to that corner three.
Keyshawn Copeland checks into the game for Boyertown. It's going to be a corner three from Wynn. He nails it. Jacob Wynn missed his first two-pointer. Probably a little too close for that shot. Put him in three-point land. He makes it. Copeland able to handle the pressure. They get it inside. Kick it back out to Greaves. Corner three. Good. Boyertown needed that three-pointer.
You used that. It was a nice offensive set. It was a good decision by Kern. That was a good pass by him. Good make.
Nice drive there from Springford. Another rebound for Boyertown.
And Rath and Greaves have got to rebound that ball down there. Kern as well. You got to accept this physicality of the game and just make it work for you. There you go, Brant. Oh.
There's a key offensive putback from Tommy Kelly. 8-point lead for Springford. This defense is very, very aggressive for Springford. They're going to pay for it there with a team foul. First of the game for either side.
They are, and this is where, as a coach, Coach Miller needs to be a little savvy with his talking to the officials. I mean, it's not going to be a situation where you're just going to yell and scream and get some calls here, but you just got to keep on bringing it to their attention. Hey, we noticed that bump right there. Hey, Five's really out there bumping. Just keep it in their head, and you got to tell your players to play through it. Let them see them knock you off your path, and that's going to get you a foul.
Brand Rapp able to convert on the inbounds pass. E.J. Campbell running the show up top for Springford here. Drives with a little runner from the foul line. And offensive foul. Didn't see a screen, so it couldn't be a moving screen.
Looked like on number 2. I didn't see Kelly necessarily do anything there. Of course, I wasn't watching him, but odd time for a call right there. But we'll take it.
Here's a skip pass to Rath. He had Greaves underneath. Looks like he wanted to give it to him, but chose not to. Otherwise, let's give it to Trey Kern for a three-pointer. Boyertown has cut the lead to 3.
Bears aren't doing bad with Springford's full court pressure, but it is that half-court, three-quarter court pressure that's going to give them trouble.
Good defense so far from Boyertown, and as I speak, there's a 3. That's from Jake Delangelo. Off the bench for Springford. Copeland had it on the baseline. He's going to get called a foul against Copeland. Boyertown will have another opportunity under the basket, down 6.
You know, referees are human too. You know, if you have a team like Springford who is very physical, and that is something that coaches teach. They teach that. They know that referees can't call everything, and they'll say, put your hand on them. Go ahead, be physical. Refs aren't going to call everything, and if you play through it and you're not complaining and you're not getting after the referees, they'll give you. they'll give you something as long as you're strong with the ball and you're doing it the right way.
Braden Johnson with a step-back three. That's a little hard. Springford with the rebound. Delangelo again. That's no good. Weak side rebound from Rath. Nice inside play from Kern to Rath. Able to get that in for two. And Boyertown staying with him, John, down 4.
When they're making basketball plays here, I mean, like pick and roll.
What other play would they make besides the basketball play?
Come on, you're making a play within a basketball set. You're not just trying to go out there and do street stuff there. Like that's what I mean. You're not trying, the step backs or the one-on-one stuff. When they're doing that, they're getting something. Now the problem is Springford is getting whatever they want on the defense or on their offensive end right here, and it's just so tough to guard a team like this that has kind of every option outside, inside. It's tough.
Looks like Jack Reeves just a little too high on that defense there. Let Tommy Kelly get underneath him a bit. Ends up getting called for the foul on the recovery, and Kelly's going to go to the line, shoot one more, and he's got his own three-point play. John, you were just touching on one of my biggest pet peeves in the world of sports, and it most frequently, as Blaze Fry tries to handle this pressure, not a bad foul there from Trey Kern. Not shooting, so it gives Boyertown an opportunity to reset their defense here. A lot of young ball handlers on the court right now for Coach Miller and Blaze Fry and Sean Copeland.
This is trial by fire right now.
47.4 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Ooh.
And they find Tommy Kelly. Nice little streak, able to find the seam in that defense. We got to go pass fake and go middle. Don't pick it up. There you go. Nice baseline drive to Rath. He's going to find Greaves. Might have double dribbled. Great defense from Jake Delangelo. Coming up on 10 seconds left. Good pressure from Fry, helping out from Copeland. Here comes a corner three. That's going to be short or long.
Short. That was high up there. Now that's kind of some basketball savvy right there. Shooting it high like that to avoid the arm there.
To quote one of my favorite movies, Major League, it looked too high. That's why I initially called short. It was high.
It was too high of it. Eventually, yeah.
But ended up being long. But getting back to what I said before, you were one of my bigger pet peeves in watching sports. And 90% of the time it's from golf. You'll hear the announcer
say it. Go ahead.
Oh, that's a beautiful
That's a good golf shot. All right. But
I can't stand it.
And
what a beautiful golf swing he has.
But so I would bet you're watching that happen when they are, they're not trying to hit a ball off of the road because they went right on their drive and they missed the fairway. Like they're making a shot within the confines of golf here. Like they're making a good shot, kind of like with what I said here. Like if the Bears are trying to do things one-on-one or they're trying to just try to start that offense a little bit too soon and not just let the basketball happen.
Yeah.
They're not being successful. So making a basketball play to me is I'm going to run an offense through and try to get a couple of ball reversals and then get the shot I want. I'm going to run my defense and rebound the basketball by everybody, 5 guys boxing out here. That's a basketball play. Now, it's pretty easy from up here, but I'm sure that the pressure from Springford is what's giving Boyertown fits and making these passes tougher for them.
And that's great context, and I agree with you, John. Looking here, another opportunity. I should have kept track of turnovers as well, but there's only so much I can do at one time.
I hear you.
But that's at least 4 for Boyertown because they've had a minimum of 2 that they've thrown away trying to break a press. And Springford's going to try to extend this 9-point lead. We spend a lot of time, John, talking about as Springford gets a turnover there as well from the young McConchu, throws that one away to the corner. You know, it's obviously way too early to think about what we often talk about in the fourth quarter, which is stop in a bucket, get a stop in a bucket. 7:33 left to go in the second quarter. We're 30 seconds into the second quarter. Boyertown's down 9. Ideally, obviously, don't have to be an idiot to realize that they would want to have the lead going into halftime. But where we're at now and what we've seen, I'm thinking we're happy with down 4.
Yeah, I would say keep this. Don't let it get into double digits. Keep it within striking distance. And yeah, I would say anywhere in that 4, 5, 6 range. Keep it in that 2-possession game if you can. And again, right now, don't let Springford's pressure up top make you not do what you want to do, which is attack the middle, get into an offensive set. If you can get it by those 3 guys, they have pressure in the top there. You're going to have a 3-on-2 going the other way. It's just got to be quick.
21 points is one of the higher outputs we've seen in a quarter so far this year. Johnson picks up his dribble. He's got to get rid of it. He finds Nick Ellis, who checked into the game for Boyertown. Johnson unable to control that dribble. Nice look, and Matt Zeller's already in double digits. Braden Johnson does a good job drawing a foul there. Again, new rules doesn't do much.
Yeah, I mean, unless
getting one-on-one.
Unless it's win second, then it might make him sit for a few minutes, which it might be if he's coming out of the game right now at this point. So your best player's off the floor. However, you've got 5 still pretty athletic players out there for Springford. Boyertown's got to make sure that they're just running through their set, whether it's a press break or an offensive set right here. Be strong against that pressure that's going to be coming up top, and just flash middle and get that 3-on-2 going the other way if you can.
Greaves with the top of the key. Trey Kern, nice extra step from Trey Kern, even better rebound. An attempted putback from Greaves, and he's going to go to the line to shoot 2.
Very nice move from Kern. It's the second time he's done that. He's just kind of used that long reach of his to step around, and Greaves did a nice job of crashing the boards right there. You're not going to beat the Springford team just by getting just your first chance opportunities, right? You've got to make sure you're working to get those second chance opportunities when they present themselves, and right there it did.
I'm not even going to talk about the rebounding because there's no way it's accurate.
Good try, Jim.
I made an attempt. Still a 9-point lead for the Rams. Boyertown on a 1-3-1. As is their wont, throwing different defensive looks at their opponents. Pressure on baseline. Good skip pass from Springford. E.J. Campbell unable to do anything with that, though. This time he'll make an attempt for a 3, and that's long. Yeah. On the floor. We might have a jump ball here.
Yeah, it's going to be a jump ball.
First one of the game, and that's going to stay with Springford. Certainly taking their time to get the play instructions from their coach are the Rams. Oh, that's an interesting set. Even better defense, though, from Jack Greaves. And that's going to go Boyertown's way. That's hustle there from Jack.
And that is a good set to run against the 2-3. You just set that screen, that middle guy, and if your wing defender is out on that 3-point shooter in the corner, you got it. Springfield ran that to perfection.
Keyshawn Copeland getting quite a bit of playing time here in the first half. We saw Braden Johnson go out with looked like what could have been a little bit of a knee injury. Copeland loses it coming across the screen. Springford's coming back the other way. Tommy Kelly on the drive. He converts. The Tommy Kelly, Matt Zeller show here for the Rams. They're combining for 18 of the team's 25.
Springford just quick. You know, you think you have them beat right there. Ellis made that move. It was the correct move, get there. But man, that dribble against this kind of team, it's got to be not 2 dribbles to get to the basket. It's got to be 1, and you're taking off, and it's those long steps that Trey Kern is using to get to the bucket.
Up to an 11-point lead now for the Rams. I think at this point in time, I don't know what this call is. Offensive foul. We said before, John, that we were hoping to be in the 4, 5, 6 range. I think now the way things are going here, 3 minutes into the second quarter, you hope to get in single digits going into halftime.
You can still get there. It's only 11 here. It's got to be. You're almost at that stop in the bucket, like you said again here. They are going back to this 2-3. We'll see if they're going to go to some more pressure out of it, which they just did right here. Because you got to throw something different at these guys. Because Kelly is just going to kill them if he gets the ball down there like that.
Braden Johnson might be trying to do a little bit too much with the ball on the dribble. E.J. Campbell tries to get it up. That's no good. And there's the aforementioned Tommy Kelly. Seems to be everywhere on the court. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, yes, he is. I saw Springford go in the other direction. I thought there might have been a going the other way, but Tommy Kelly shooting 2.
You know, I would bet the guard rotation right now for Coach Miller is that he's just trying to find somebody to start this offense. You know, and it's it doesn't have to be. You're not going to get 11 points back on one possession, on one shot. You're going to have to grind away here a little bit. And I think the Bears look reluctant to just try to run through an offensive set. They look reluctant to, make a pass to the wing and just let the play develop and be strong with the ball and just work the ball around from side to side. And if they are reluctant to do that, Springford's going to eat them up.
12-point lead now for the Rams, and Springford's back in there. Very, very much extended full court pressure here. Good job to get it out to the top of the key. I'm sorry, to the half-court line so quickly.
And there it is, and that's what you're doing. Throw it through them, throw it over top of them. They want you to get the ball there in that corner and then suffocate you. Don't let them have that chance.
Got another call here against Springford. That's their 3rd in the quarter. Just about halfway through the second quarter. And good job by Brant Raff. Better recovery from Springford, and Boyertown will reset in the half court. Coach Miller's called a timeout, checking to see where he's going to get the ball.
Well, Coach Miller feeling like this is a big possession for his guys right here. They have not scored in a few minutes here, so I don't disagree with him.
They don't have a field goal yet in the half.
So this is, and you're midway through. If you can draw up something here and get a little bit of momentum back, it's probably what Coach Miller is thinking here. I would bet I would bet a set play coming out. Wouldn't mind trying to see something, run where they throw the ball not to the half court line to give Springford a chance to trap, but try to work this thing in the middle of the field. Maybe flash Johnson back in the back court. Flash Kern maybe in that corner, kind of draw the defense out. See if you can't get some kind of pick and get somebody in the middle, get to the middle and create that odd man situation for yourself.
John, our phones work again.
Oh, great. What's
I don't know. I'm looking for it now. I just realized that they worked again because I actually got a text message from my wife.
Well, I thought maybe you were going to look up the Panda Garden menu or something, or what were you going to do?
No, we already had. Well, I was going to look up District 1 boys basketball.
I get you.
But we already had dinner tonight. That was from the China House in Bali. I had my go-to, man. Kung Pao shrimp.
What a good D.
Very good D. They were at the right place at the right time.
Tommy
Tommy Kelly.
Tommy Kelly just said Kung Pao right there.
Yes, he did. So what we were hoping to be cutting into this 12-point lead is now an opportunity to Springford to extend it to a 15-point lead.
Yeah, and that's why it was a thought of mine that just don't even allow Springford to do what they want to do and and drive you to get that ball in the backcourt. They want you to get the ball in the corners in the front court. They want to have those three guys just bearing down on you. Throw it through them. Try to draw something up where you're attacking the middle of the floor, not the sides. They're doing a nice job of trapping and putting pressure to us by the sideline. That's just an extra defender right there.
If there's one weakness we can give the Rams tonight so far, it is their foul shooting. They're only 50%. And there's Brant Rath able to cut into it a little bit. I think that was Brant, correct?
It was Kern.
Kern. I take that back. I apologize. Trey Kern with 2. Good attempt. Tommy Kelly seems to be everywhere, so why not try to give it to him 12 feet above the ground? Just barely out of his fingertips, though. And I tell you what, for all of our talk about Jacob Wynn, we've talked more about him in the pregame than we have in the actual game.
Yeah, the Bears have, because of some foul trouble, he must have 2 fouls right there. But it's a little bit of that. It's also a little bit of just the fact that Zollers and Kelly are the ones who are doing most of the damage right now, and Wynn's just kind of letting the game come to him, which he does. He's not going to force anything. He's a smart player.
Rath with a long three-pointer. That's off the front of the rim. Copeland out of nowhere, unable to come up with it. Campbell's going to run. And there's the aforementioned Wynn. And there is the three-pointer.
You have the biggest jinx around your – it's just like your aura is just like jinx. Jimmy the Jinx Towers.
I appreciate that.
Sorry.
Quite all right. No, great move from Rath.
Yeah.
They're going to get called for a foul on the floor is Springford.
Zoller's calling for a wrap there. Tough to see from this angle here. I thought that was clean there. I just thought that was a quick move, and Rath got that leg around him there. I think Zollers is calling for the wrap though. I think that was clean.
Yeah. This is almost like Jacob Wynn. Come in the game, shoot a 3. Okay, sit back down.
He's out again. Yeah,
he has a 3 in the first quarter. He's got a 3 in the second quarter. See if that's a trend that we see continuing.
Man, if only I'd be playing basketball still if there was an offensive specialist. I can, I make a shot, miss a shot, I just come out of the game. Whew.
Well, that would be predicated on the fact that you would miss a shot.
Well, you're right. I wouldn't do much of that. I'd make it and then I just call a timeout for myself. I'd use them all, 5 of them.
Springford coming the other way. Smart foul from Boyertown, able to keep that on the floor. And the Rams will have it under the basket. With this shifted box set again, here's going to come the screen, kick out to the 3. .145 to go here. Play instructions from Coach Dempsey. Another rebound for Boyertown. Now I know I said I wasn't going to do anything with rebounds anymore, but as they got that other defensive rebound, I happened to look back down at the book, and I had them marked with 7 already in this game. Defensive rebounds.
Defensive rebounds. Yeah, I mean you look at the size and. They're well coached, so they're in the right spots. You would think that they would be a good rebounding team because they're in the right spots defensively here. And Boyertown, I still am going to say that I think that they are for the most part attacking the right areas here. It's just with a team that's as lengthy as Springford, like right there with Ryan Thompson, he probably regrets not taking an extra step and just going up for that shot himself right there and trying to make that pass. It's just tough to make those kind of passes you're making against other teams with a team that has this height and this size. So if they can just kind of make that little mental adjustment right there and just say to themselves, listen, if I get close, I am going to the basket. I'm going to keep attacking this press, not like that, but if I'm going to keep attacking the press by going over top of it, ooh. However, Springford just seems to be converting on every opportunity they get. It's going to be tough.
Nice little continuation there for TJ Campbell. Thought maybe the body came a little bit before the shot. He's able to convert. Springford still in the press. Boyertown able to get it across the timeline. Been very, very impressed with Springford's half-court defense so far this half.
It's just kind of getting Boyertown out of whack right there. Rath, was looking middle, didn't have anybody right away, so he tried to dribble, which is probably you don't want your center dribbling right there, right? They almost got a hand on it, but if you look there was nobody flashing middle right there, and it's got to be a cue when you're getting pressed here. Somebody's got to be in that middle spot whenever you get in that pressure.
Nice little floater there. Only the second field goal for Boyertown this half. Oh, that's number 0. I'm looking down at who's got the ball, and I'm thinking, initially I thought it was a 2, and I'm like, that's not Tommy Kelly. Lemire Green. And right on cue, Green tries to put in the last second shot going into the halftime. Unable to knock that down. So what we were hoping was a 4, 5, 6 point lead, John, has jumped out to 19 for Springford.
Yeah, it ballooned a little bit there, and there's been games, plenty of games against Springford that have just kind of snowballed like this, because when they get it going, it's tough to get them to stop. And we said before the game that if Boyertown was going to have a shot, we talked about them slowing the pace down and running the offense. It's been Springford's defensive pressure. They're just on the ball pressure that has really put Boyertown out of whack a little bit here. And because of that, they're trying to do things that they really haven't done that we've seen. We've seen them slow down, get set, run their offense, but Springford's not allowing them that opportunity, or maybe we can say that they're pushing them into starting things a bit earlier than they would want before they get ball movement, and they're stagnant right now offensively, and now every turnover they give, Springford is going down the other end, and they are converting.
So we'll see what Boyertown can do in the second half. They have quite a deficit to overcome, and I went back when we said before that last year here in Bear Gym, Boyertown lost by 7. It was only a 4-point lead at the half. So we will see what the Bears can do coming out of the locker room, what kind of adjustments can be made. We'll be back for the second half here on the NFHS Network. Welcome back, everybody. 40 seconds left to go in halftime as the teams get the balls back on the racks. Guess we don't have any young Paladinos with us tonight, so Squiggs is doing the duty.
He's just a man of multi-talents.
Jack of all trades.
The football book, baseball scorebook, takes care of the social media here for the Athletics, and what a great job rolling that ball rack out right there.
You know, I hope Rico Hauk was taking notes, because he has to do that every once in a while, and he could learn a thing or two from Squiggs.
He could. He usually just, when he takes it out, he usually just tosses it, you know, like it's shuffleboard, and just like tries to get it as close to the bear head as possible, and then grabs like the nearest kid home on break to go get it, you know.
I truly believe that's why Rico brings his daughter to the games, so he doesn't have to walk out to midcourt and do it.
Yeah, come on, honey. You want a job? There you go.
Huge possession for Boyertown. Get points on the board, and get them on the board early. But Springford's coming out in some pressure, and we'll see what the Bears can do here.
Looks a little 1-3-1-ish here. It's a kick, and you usually want to attack to that corner against a 1-3 run, but you are going to need that corner. Rath is going to have to go down and take away that bottom guy, and then you need somebody flash in middle.
Greaves tries to get it up against Mokanchu. He's not successful. Great defense from Greaves on the other end. Copeland does a good job of getting the loose ball. Boyertown's going to have a second chance to get the first points of the quarter. Springford in a man-to-man now. Might have been a little miscommunication there in the corner. Bears able to recover. I think Thompson.
They're standing. I tell you, it's something. You can give the credit to Springford's defense, but there's just a lot of standing right now. I'm not sure if the Bears weren't sure what they were in, if they thought they were still in that 1-3-1, but there's just not a lot of movement right here for Boyertown, and Springford's pressure has done this to them, but they just got to make sure they get back into, hey, move, get to your spot, get the ball. You might get the ball if you get out, get to the other side of the floor, and let that thing get reversed.
Another turnover for Springford, so they're not doing themselves any favors here, giving another chance to Boyertown.
It is a different energy right now. I know we're just a minute in here, but Boyertown's got a chance to do something here. They just got to convert.
And see, the other thing, John, this is the third time down the court. It looks like there's just a little bit of miscommunication from Boyertown. That's a kind of a missed screen opportunity
right now we have 5 guys on the outside here, and finally we have somebody driving through here. And I'm sure this is not any sort of pattern offense that they're running right here, but you know, Trey Kern is a very solid player, but asking him to make that move, you know, all the time out there in the wing, it's not going to win you a basketball game. So I would bet Coach Miller to be calling a timeout at some point here, and I hope that he's just able to say, hey, guys, listen, what are we working on here? Like, what's our offense supposed to look like? I'm telling you, they don't run something where they have 5 guys standing on the outside just kind of watching. I know Coach Miller ain't running that. I coach Miller.
There's a missed opportunity. Ryan Thompson gives that up to Jacob Wynn. And here's some full court pressure now from the Rams. Great defense here from E.J. Campbell. He's able to find Thompson underneath, who I think was going to try to flip that over to Jack Greaves. And it's almost like the Bears are trying to make it more complicated. And there's another turnover from Springford. A few more subs into the game for the Bears. This is Blaze Fry and Braden Johnson. We have a loose shoe on Mokanchu. There was a double team. Fry's the open man. Unable to convert. Wow.
I mean, Campbell just accepted that bump and just kept right on going. Went right through it.
Johnson kicks it back out to Greaves. That's going to be well short, but smoking from the top of the key is Trey Curran. Gets the rebound and the putback.
If you're going to get back in this game, you're going to need those garbage points like that. However, you got it.
There we go.
I was going to say you can't allow them to come right down the floor, but hey, these are momentum swingers here, and I know it's going to take a lot of momentum to get Boyertown back in the game right here, but this is the kind of stuff that gets you back in it.
Saw that coming about as soon as he crossed half court.
Yeah.
I think I saw that Eddie Higgins coming. The lead's 23. Springford does not look like they are letting up at all on the defensive pressure. Pull-up jumper from Braden Johnson's no good. Rebound Springford. Nice backdoor cut. Pretty pass from McConshu.
Nice left-handed reverse finish as well. We haven't seen too much the Bears just kind of start the offense where they just pass the ball to the wing, have somebody cut through and get out, and then try those drives a little bit later. We haven't seen too much of that tonight. And Springford is just so solid defensively that they're standing where the Bears want to go. It's just not working for Boyertown because they're not making them move at all. They're very stagnant. I know I said this a lot, but man, I can't think of a better word for it.
And Jacob Wynn is offensively very not stagnant. I don't have any idea what I just said there, but that's his three-pointer for the quarter.
Well, hold on.
He's got one each quarter.
Well, there you go.
Are you Googling not stagnant?
Yeah, since we have the internet back now, we're going to Google antonyms for stagnant.
The downsides of working with an English teacher.
Let's see. Merriam-Webster. Stagnant. Okay, so it means not flowing or moving. You know that.
Yes.
So let's find an antonym. Flowing. Okay, all right. Okay. All right, that didn't go as well. That segment of radio is not going to win us an award right there.
As if we're getting awards for what? Discussing my love for Kung Pao shrimp?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or you're... So we're not winning awards for discussing antonyms of stagnant, but we are going to win awards for Kung Pao shrimp and the many adventures of the Kaleda washer.
The washing machine. Have we talked about that on air?
You know what? I don't know if we did or not.
There was the new washing machine now is working well. There's no water flowing. There's no stagnant water in our basement anymore.
It's all flowing as it should through the pipes of the washing machine. I think, John, that play in a lot of ways is a microcosm of the night for Boyertown. They had some things in place. They're just not able to really connect the dots on what they need to do.
Swung the ball from one side to the other, had somebody open on the block, and just couldn't connect on the pass. You're right.
And here's, on the other hand, Springford, once again able to get a nice backdoor cut. Good defense to force a jump ball, and the Rams will get it underneath the basket. Double high stack for the Rams. X in the middle, leaves open Jacob Wynn for a corner three.
See, well, we said this before. He's not, it's like the long game with him, right? He's just consistent, and you're going to look at the box score and say, he had 12 or more, and you won't realize that he was kind of a non-factor for a little bit because he just kind of makes the most of every little opportunity he gets.
He's already outscored himself from the first half, the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. Give you a little mystery of how many total points he has. This great offensive work there from Springford. Better defense from Boyertown. See what the Rams go with this time. Very unorthodox set on the inbounds. That's going to leave Wynn open for 3, and he does not miss that, except for now. There's another jinx for you, John.
There you go.
Works both directions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep.
Good job by Raff. Good position by Raff.
Trey Kern was that's Kern.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kern.
And I say this all the time. How referees will reward you for doing the right thing. Kern had good position right there. I don't know if it was that much of a body, problem that Springford, gave Kern there. But if you're in the right position, which Trey Kern was there, he boxed him out. Good position on that rebound. Refs will reward you.
Blaze Fry with 3. It's going to be short. But there is Greaves. He's going to get an opportunity for a 3-point play after he puts his shoe on. And he converts. 51-25, 26-point lead for the Rams. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. Nice jump stop there from Marsilio. Springford's 2-3 zone giving fits up top for Boyertown. And they're able to find Trey Kern in the corner right in front of the student section. He's able to knock down a 3. We're getting a timeout with 18.6 seconds left to go in the game.
So I think Coach Miller is at the point now where he's going to probably start running some sort of full court pressure, some sort of half court pressure at him right now. I wouldn't say that anybody thinks that they're in striking distance right now unless something really big happens in the fourth. But however, at the same time, I think Boyertown is the energy really hasn't been here. You don't want to see them quit right now. You don't want to start getting into that. So make the guys play. Put them in a situation where they're putting a little pressure out there. And if you don't want this thing to get out of hand here even more than what it is, then we're gonna try to punch them a little bit and see if we can't get something going for ourselves defensively. So we'll see if that was the talk right here. If they have something else up their sleeves.
Look at you, John. Here comes full court pressure from Boyertown.
There you go.
Maybe you have a future in this after all.
I have a past.
Good pressure here from the Bears, but Springford's able to get it across the timeline.
Yeah.
Johnson's going to get a foul.
And that's an unfortunate foul right there because you don't need a steal. You don't need a steal in that situation here. You just want to get pressure. You just want to kind of make them do something different and make it tough for them to start their offense for once tonight, which they could have done there with that time remaining, but the foul kind of threw a kink into that. And we must have hit. I didn't realize this. We must have hit the 30-point mark.
John, I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I had looked up when there was about a minute and a half. I said, boy, this was a quick quarter. And I knew we were hovering around the 25-28 mark. I never saw it hit 30.
Man.
Well, that happens when Jacob Wynn decides to wake up and put 8 in the quarter.
Yeah, there you go.
So we have 8 minutes to go with, looks like with this running clock, it's more than likely insurmountable at this point in time.
Yeah, you're losing. Again, you're looking at 25 right now, which is this is in the Boyertown Springford girls.
Yes, it is.
20.
It's in that realm. 26.
Whatever it was, 2010 or 2011, whatever it was.
Yep.
You're in that realm right now, but man, it's tough without that. I would bet. I mean, what do you think you lose? Like a minute or so a game?
Oh, at least.
I mean, off of this, that's tough.
At least. We'll see what Braden Johnson can do here starting this offense and against a, what I thought was a man-to-man, but they switched. Springford still has a few of their starters out on the court.
I would bet, we haven't seen them go 2-3 yet right here. I would bet that this is a couple possessions for Coach Dempsey, and he's going to say, hey, we haven't done this yet. Let's work on it. I mean, this is, we say all the time, like that Christmas, holiday break for a basketball team is huge. You might have a game or two, but really you've got 10 days where you've got just practice time and time to put stuff in. So, maybe this is something that they've been working on the past couple of games, and they said to themselves, "Listen, we're gonna go try it at one point tonight." So, you might see the starters get a crack at it and then take them out.
And not, as I look here, not many starters. It looks like McConchu might be the only starter in the game.
Oh, that's true. I just was kind of focused on him because he's in the middle working hard there. But
yeah, as I look at some of the other players, and I get confused with number 2 and number 0. So that's Green in the game, not Kelly. So Springford will certainly be content to work a motion offense here, and I was going to say wait for an easy bucket, but nothing easier than a reverse layup for Jordan Marsilio.
That's Marsilio's second nice little dipsy-do shot there. A lefty, a righty there. He's ambidextrous.
Another good word.
Yeah, right.
Three-pointer from Greaves. That's good. No quitting the Bears. They're going to put on some full-court pressure here. It looks like they're going to be able to get the turnover. Braden Johnson's going to spin around and give it to Trey Kern. And that three-pointer's good. A little bit of life here in the Bears. And there's going to be a turnover. Springford's second unit kind of looking at each other, wondering what's going on.
Well, this is a good thing for Coach Dempsey right here because you have the cushion, and I think he's a smart enough coach to realize that at some point during the season you need some of these guys to step into a big role, whether it's because of foul trouble to your starters or because God forbid an injury or something. So I think this is probably a good opportunity and a good time out there, like just to say, listen, settle down. What are we doing here? We just gave up 6 points because we did not take care of the ball and we were not doing what we've done all game. So I'm sure he'll calm them down and get them ready to go. On the flip side, we just said this before the third quarter was over. You don't want to see your teams, quit in this kind of situation. And I'm not saying the Bears did because they obviously have not, but you have that in the back of your mind as a coach. That's just like a fear you have. It's a fear you have when you have a game like this, which they're going to happen sometimes. You don't want to lose the guys' intensity, and you don't want them to come to practice the next day and not work as hard as they usually do here. So this is a good decision by Coach Miller and the staff to say, hey, listen, let's throw something different out there. Let's just make sure that we're playing hard. And how do you make sure your team plays hard? You say to them, listen, you are going up 55, full court, man-to-man, trap if you got a chance, rotate if you need to, go play basketball.
We'll see what the Bears can do with 5:38 left to go in the game. Looks like Greaves is trying to get it inside to a mismatch with Kern.
Would love to see Kern take a screen and get outside and then go back in.
Oh, he wants the ball.
He wants the ball, but you're not getting it right there. So there you go.
Turn and face, loses it.
Well, again, if he wanted it on the post down low, the move was probably to get the ball to somebody else and just re-enter himself down there. We'll see if they do it this time.
Another corner three. That's going to be off the front of the rim. McConchu with the rebound. Ooh. Green's going to bring it up. They're going to keep possession.
I think that was a no call of a foul, so I'm just going to give the ball to the Rams. I think that's what that was.
Full court man-to-man, calling out screens. Good opportunity for a trap. Green's able to get through Ellis.
Yeah, at this point, we always said, if you're closer to the ball than your man, go get him. Like Copeland right there, just go get him. But now you got to make sure that you're watching that ball if you're off the ball there. You got to rotate over.
Conchu long on the jump shot from the baseline. Johnson finds Copeland. Quick three-pointer off the front of the rim. Greaves almost had that rebound, but it's almost like, Greaves almost had that rebound, but it looked like Green just kind of knocked it out of his hand as he was bringing it down. Copeland might get another Eddie Higgins.
Come on.
That's 2.
There's a foul?
No, it's offensive.
Oh, they did? All right, good.
That's 2 tonight. A few more subs coming in for Springford. .322 left to go in the game. John, I noticed you didn't bring the Taco Bell with you tonight's game.
Hey, nacho fries are back.
Oh, yeah? Not sure what that was. But we're going to get Boyertown will have the ball underneath the basket. So what you have before you came, or is it dinner when you get home?
I mean, you're working through holiday leftovers right now.
Still,
my wife made a mac and cheese for New Year's, and I mean the combination of cheeses that she uses. I don't even know what they are. The cheeses I can't pronounce, but man, they are good.
How often?
Ooh,
whoa!
He was trying.
He sure was.
And now, unfortunately, you're going to hope he's okay. But when you go up and you leave your feet like that, and that's your goal to dunk that ball, you just kind of lose that sense of protecting yourself if you get hit. And it's like he's rubbing that hip there. Hopefully, he's okay.
Jack will go to the line to shoot 2. How many times a week does Mrs. Kaleda make mac and cheese?
No, it's not. Here's the thing. When it's made, it's there for about a week, because she makes so much of it. So which is great, because now it's like, well, it's part of this meal, it's part of that meal, it's a snack, like before bed. So maybe that's why it might seem like I'm always talking about it, Jim. But it's just because of the quantity.
Gotcha. Greaves hits both. Continued full court pressure from Boyertown. Springford going deep into their bench. Sayer Barnes brought it up the court for the Rams. And there's Ian Patika on that missed layup. Copeland with quite a spin move that time, short on the put-up.
It looked like he lost control, but had the wherewithal to just kind of take that shot right there, or else he's going to be called for a travel.
Patrick Rose getting into the varsity score line. There's a long three-pointer from Cooper Rath. A little short. Nice shot fake there. And that's going to be long. Cooper Rath with the rebound.
Wow.
Look at that effort from Sayer Barnes.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen that. He read a bounce pass, and he jumped on the ground and got the ball as it was bouncing off the ground. Wow. What a play.
Coming up on 30 seconds left to go.
Oh, give it to him, yep.
Yep. There's an Eddie Higgins in the other direction. And I do believe that was also Sayer Barnes.
Defensive player of the game.
Making his presence known here late in the game. He's the young sophomore. Well, I don't believe Springford's going to put another one up. So again, we didn't really see when that lead hit 30, but Boyertown able to cut into it a little bit. Springford's going to get out of here with a 21-point victory, 57-36. Certainly some things to work on for the Bears as they enter in this conference play here, John.
Yeah, and I think they need to probably. This is so tough to. It's always so tough to practice here, but handling pressure, which we said at the top of the game here, there was going to be something big. Could Boyertown handle whatever kind of pressure Springford was going to throw at them? And you saw tonight what it does to a team that has been able to run an offense the last 3 weeks of this season. It makes you doubt yourself a little bit. It makes you kind of back on your heels a little. It kind of, for whatever reason, it puts you out of position when that team puts a little bit of pressure on you, gets you uncomfortable. And Boyertown just looked uncomfortable tonight a little bit, and that's a credit to Springford and to Coach Dempsey and what they teach and how they play. So if Boyertown's got one thing to work on, it's probably, I would say Coach Miller is going to say, listen, we're going to see them again. We're going to see some other teams that are going to do the same thing to us. We got to make sure we're strong with the ball. We got to make sure that we're still getting to the positions that we're coached to get to, no matter what defense is being thrown at us.
So looking at the unofficial scorebook, obviously, in front of me, Jack Reeves with 13, Trey Kern with 15, Brant Rath with 8. That's the extent of the Boyertown scoring, all from 3 players. The Springford side, late 2 points from Patrick Rose, but much more balanced. Everyone else who scored, the other 6 players at least had points in the first and second half. Jake Delangelo with 3, Jordan Marsilio with 7, E.J. Campbell with 7, Matt Zellers with 12, Tommy Kelly with 12, and very, very quietly, Jacob Wynn leading the Rams scoring with 14.
See, I tell you, man, it's just a quiet. He's a quiet assassin. That guy right there. And now you look at him play, and he's as solid as you're going to find in the pack. You just look at some of these guys dribble and the way they pass and the way that they look off a defender when they're making that pass to the middle, and he does all of that. But the problem is for Boyertown and the rest of the pack is that Springford has about 3 or 4 guys that do that regularly, plus a couple other guys who play good roles. Matt Zolders, we talked about him. He's the one getting the looks for at some big time Division I schools for football. I would think he's just kind of a role player here in the basketball team, but what did he do tonight? He was in the right place at the right time. The ball found him. He was able to defensively create some disruption and then run the floor and get reward on the other end. So it's nice to have role players like that who can pop in at any time and do something positive.
Doing a lot of the work that we do in the football games and with these packed schools, it's always interesting to see these players and how they translate from one field of play to the next. There's an interesting reel that I was watching where it had following the top high school quarterbacks, number 1 high school quarterback prospect, and where they are now.
Okay.
And it was interesting because some of them, you've heard of, others you haven't. But one of them back from, and it was interesting because I thought to myself, boy, that name sounds familiar. It was back in the early 2000s, early 2000s, late 1990s. The number 1 quarterback in high school football was a gentleman by the name of Joe Mauer.
The baseball player?
Joe Mauer went on to be a 20-year career as the catcher for the Minnesota Twins. And he was the number 1 prospect high school football quarterback in the nation.
I would say he made the right decision. I talk myself on this. I just like to hear myself talk. I just talk to myself. But you look at high school sports and going on to the next level. So much of it is fit, right? Like how do you talent is great, but how much do you gel and fit with the coaching staff? Does the staff have the right plan for you as a player and for the team? I mean, how many times are people transferring now because they go to a place, they're highly touted, but man, they just did not fit with the coach's scheme. Biggest thing I can think of in football-wise is remember Christian Hackenberg for Penn State.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, Bill O'Brien had him humming, and then the next couple of years, James Franklin had I think that was Trace McSorley who was waiting, and they wanted an offense that was completely different. And now things just he didn't have as near a successful career after he obviously had the talent, because he had a great freshman season, but they just didn't have the talent. And I think if you want to kind of circle back to high school basketball here, that's part of it too, right? That's part of a coach's job, is they got to figure out what system is going to work best for their players, identify the players that are going to be carrying you, and then find a way to make sure that they're the ones who are in positions to help you succeed on a daily basis. And I kind of mentioned this before. It seems like Spring Forward just kind of has players that they can fit into that system every year. For Boyertown, for some reason it's different here. We get the last year that not the last year, but the last year. Second last year, I think I was coaching, 2010. We made the PAC playoffs, and we had 3 guys that were 6'6".
Yeah.
Well, we didn't have that again for a bunch of years. We had to completely kind of retool things when our 3 top scorers were not in the 6'6" range. They were 6'1", 6 foot, and 5'11". So, but that's and that's the challenge that Coach Miller has gladly accepted here, is that he's going to take a look each year and find a couple of things that he can carry over. But each year, it's the challenge to see what's going to work best for this team. Last year was let's run, let's get out. They had a district berth because of it, because of that style they played, and I think they're still fighting for that right now. This year, they're looking to, they're looking to try to make it into the postseason somehow by doing things a little bit differently and slowing things down. And hopefully, Coach Miller, they can shake this one off and get back to it in a couple of days.
We'll see how that goes, and we will be back here with you on Friday, I believe. I'm fairly certain that's a girls' game. We'll double-check those details for you. Well, you can check the schedule,
I believe
too.
it's in Norristown.
Yes, I think that's accurate. And it'll be the last game in the Marvel Avengers notebook.
End of an era.
So maybe if I can remember, I'll go out and we'll announce the new replacement notebook, because I'm sure everyone is just the tens of listeners that we have are just waiting with bated breath to know what next notebook is going to be.
Do we get to 10? Do we even get to 10?
Oh, I don't know.
The singles of
outside of the Clayton and Powers family, probably
not. Yeah, I don't know.
All right, everybody, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time on the NFHS Network.